I think we all dream about catching the ultimate big fish, and over the years I've had lots of opportunities at big fish. I've actually caught a couple of 13-pounders, one filming one of my TV shows and the other one fishing down on Lake Falcon. And about a year ago, I had one of those lifetime experiences that I think every angler hopes to happen. I had that ultimate fish finally bite me. And to kind of set the scenario up, I'd been out fishing on Lake Amistad a couple of weeks before this happened, and I was drifting out over a big old grass flat of hydrilla, and it was real windy out, and I'm casting a football jig on 15-pound Tatsu fluorocarbon, and the water's about 20 to 25 foot deep, and as the jig's falling, you see the line kind of jump a little bit, and I set the hook, and I catch a 5-pounder, which is a nice fish, especially when you're practicing for a tournament, which I was going to have in a couple of weeks. So I hit the little GPS mark on the locator to mark that particular spot and just blew on down through the grass flat and never thought a whole lot more about it other than the fact that someday I may want to come back there to see if there's more fish. Well, we ended up, Chad and I, going down to Lake Falcon the next week and filming a couple of TV shows, which he actually caught a 12-2 and a 12-4, one of the big ones on each show. I caught an 11.5. We had cameramen catching 8s and 9s. What I'm getting at is I was around a lot of big fish the week before I got back up to Lake Amistad. And I've got 3 or 4 days to go out and practice to get ready for this tournament. And I thought, well, I'm going to go practice that grass flat again. So I'm out there, and it's windy once again, and I'm blowing across this flat, and I see my little GPS mark. And I'm thinking, I wonder if that was a fluke that 5-pounder was there. So I kind of eased the trolling motor over there within casting distance, and I make a fairly long cast. And as the line's settling down into about 22 foot of water, it only goes down about 15 feet, and I feel that tick. And I thought, well, I'm going to check one to see if there's some quality fish still there. And when I set the hook, I knew it was a big fish, but I didn't really know how big a fish it was. I'm thinking 7 or 8 pounds. And so I'm fighting this fish, and all of a sudden the line starts to come up. And one thing I've found down there is when you got a fish that starts to immediately come to the surface, and you can tell he's heavy, he's probably one of them giants. And I've caught several giants down there, but when this thing came up, never in my life have I had a fish like this on the end of my line. And it could not jump. All it could do is come up, kind of shake its head on the surface, and back down it goes. And my only thought is there's a bunch of trees down there growing off the bottom. It's going to get back down there in those trees. So I got some pretty good pressure on this fish. And keep in mind, I've only got this fish on 15-pound Tatsu. But the reason I throw that down there, where most guys are throwing 20-pound test, is I get more bites because of the water clarity. And so I'm putting some heavy pressure on this fish, and I keep him from getting down in the trees. I'm chasing him with the trolling motor. Back up he comes. He does one of those slosh around deals again, and I'm losing it. I mean, my heart is just, I've never seen a fish like this, let alone had one on the end of my line. This whole deal probably lasted 2 minutes, and I'm blowing with the wind, and I'm probably 100 yards from where I actually hooked the fish by the time I get him up beside the boat. And I get down to lip this fish. Obviously, I'm fishing by myself. And as I'm reaching out to grab the fish, he kind of does one of those deals going away, just kind of tail walking away from me. And I cannot tell you how many times over the years that's when I've had the jig or the hook pull out of a fish. Well, it didn't happen this time. I was able to bring the fish back around. I was able to lip him. I let the rod down. I grabbed the fish in the lower lip with both thumbs, and I swing this fish aboard, and I'm shaking. I just opened the live well lid. I put him in the live well, flip the aerator on, and I sit down, and I don't know what I've just done. I take 2 Advil. I'm all shook up now, folks. I'm telling you, I've lost it. Never in my career has a fish done this to me. And I'm sitting there, have I just caught the world record? And then I go, nah, it's not a world record, but it's the biggest fish you've ever caught in your life. And I'd open the live well lid. Well, the fish doesn't fit in the live well. He's all bent over in there. And I'm going, I got to weigh him. So I get out one of those column right scales that goes to 15 pounds. I put him on that, and it'll just sit there and blink. It won't register. And I'm going, well, something's wrong with the scale. So I get up my 15-pound Boga Grip, which is a certified scale that we use on bass battles when we're filming it. And it goes to 15 pounds, and he bottoms that out. So I know the fish is over 15 pounds from weighing him on 2 different scales. And I'm sitting there going, you know, I probably have just caught the lake record. The lake record's like 15.5 pounds. But if I take that fish into town, get him certified, drag him all around, I'm probably going to kill the fish. I've got a long run in rough water. Like I say, a fish that big doesn't fit in the live rail real good. And I'm sitting there going through all these different emotions. And then greed kind of played a part. I'm going, you know, that fish was where he is at for a reason. There's something down there that he liked. There was something there that that 5-pounder liked. If I ease right back over there and let him go on that spot, 3 or 4 days from now in the tournament, I may catch that fish again when it really matters. And so stupidity overtook. I go over there and I let the biggest fish of my life go. And to this day, I'll never know what that fish weighed. But it was one of the most special moments I've ever had in bass fishing. And, you know, I've had a lot of people really question what I did there, but I'll never, ever regret it. My only hope is that that fish and I meet up sometime again in the future. And when we do, I will have 15-pound tattoo on.